the phone that I have with me today is the Realme GT, and I know a lot of you have been very excited about this phone and have been talking, and you have also asked a lot of questions about this device. Now, to begin with, this is priced at rupees 37,999 in India, which also makes it the most affordable smartphone in the country right now with Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 processor. But is that enough for you to buy this phone? Well, I'll try and explain in this review. You're watching India Today Tech. I am Manas Tiwari. Now, before we start this video, let me make it clear once again, and I think by now you should also know the format, that I will not be talking much about the specifications. For that, you can watch our unboxing video. I'll also put the link somewhere here. It's already live on the channel. Also, if you want to watch this review in Hindi, and because a lot of you have been asking about it, what we'll do is you will get it in Hindi on the Tech Tak channel. So if you haven't subscribed to Tech Tak yet, please go and do that as well. And if in case you are new to the India Today Tech YouTube channel, then please subscribe to this channel as well, and also tap on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any updates from our side. Now let's start the review of Realme GT, and let's talk about its design first. As I mentioned in my unboxing of the Realme GT as well, I think Realme was making a lot of good looking smartphones in 2019, but then it sort of diverted from that strategy, and the phones that we have got from it in the recent past had a very loud and glossy sort of finish, which I am not a fan of. But what you're getting here is a really good looking smartphone in Realme GT, and this one comes with a dual tone finish. So what you get in the middle is a black color strip, which is slightly glossy and reflective, but all around it you get a vegan leather finish, which I am really impressed with. The advantage of this is that you get a very comfortable hold. The phone is not that slippery. Also, you do not get any fingerprint smudges on the device as well. Also, what I feel is that this is more durable than the glass finish, which is prone to scratches and damages. Now, this phone has been launched in 3 color variants. What I have with me here is the racing yellow color, and you can also buy it in the dashing blue and dashing silver color variants, but honestly I like this one over the other two. Now, one of the highlights of this smartphone is that you get a 3.5mm headphone jack on it, and it's a rare mid-premium smartphone to offer you that. Most smartphones in this price category have entirely skipped this feature. You either get an adapter or you don't get anything at all. Now, anyone who plays a lot of games on their phones, and I do, would understand that you will always face latency issues with truly wireless earbuds, and if you use a wired earphones, you can obviously improve the latency, and that's where this feature comes in really handy. I also like the fact that despite having that jack, this phone is not that thick. Also, it weighs just 184 grams, which is quite impressive for modern day smartphones. So you get a very good in-hand feel as well, and the weight is distributed pretty nicely as well. The rest of the design elements are usual. You get a Type-C USB charging port, you get dual speaker setup, and there's also a in-display fingerprint scanner on the phone. On the front, Realme has used a 6.43-inch display, and one good thing about it is that it's not too huge. So I've seen a lot of smartphone makers using those 6.67 or 6.8-inch displays, and while they're good for streaming content, they're not the most compact form factors. And here what you're getting is a phone which really fits into your palm very well. Also, it also has 120 Hz of refresh rate and 360 Hz of touch sampling rate, and that combination gives you a very good smooth everyday usage, as well as it makes a lot of difference while gaming as well. And the display has very good viewing angles. Also, the peak brightness is quite impressive, so even if you're using it in outdoors, you do not face much of an issue. Yes, the display is slightly reflective, so that is a bit of a problem. And even if you're streaming content on it, what I've witnessed is that the colors are more accurate than you usually see on AMOLED displays. They have the tendency of oversaturating colors, but that's not a problem here. My only issue with the Realme GT though is that it does not have support for HDR playback. So if you're watching content on Netflix or any other streaming platform, this might be a bit of an issue. Now, as for the camera, the Realme GT comes with a triple rear camera setup which includes a 64 megapixel main camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. On the front, what you're getting is a 16 megapixel selfie shooter. Within the camera app, there are plenty of options to access and work around with. And the overall camera performance is also pretty decent. It's not the best performance that I've seen in this segment or on any other camera smartphone, but it is quite satisfactory. To begin with, the main camera is more than capable of capturing good images. As you can see in the image samples as well, the colors are pretty decent, the images are sharp, the dynamic range is also good. However, one thing that I noticed is that if you look at this particular image sample, the sky looks stunning. The clouds and all have been recreated very well. But if you move to the right side and look at the tree, the leaves of the tree have been darkened and they almost appear black instead of green. And that's a problem with most images captured by the main camera. The shadows haven't been recreated that well, and that is something that Realme can fix. Also, if you click images towards the later half of the day, that is towards the evening, you can also see some noise creeping into the pictures, and that's again something that can be addressed going forward. But even the wide shots look good, and those captured by the ultra wide angle lens also come out really well. They look pleasing from far off, and even if you zoom in, you can see that most objects retain details. In this case, you can see the trees, flowers, buildings all look fine, and even the signboard which is at the center, the text on it is partially readable. Yes, of course, it's not completely readable, but you can at least read some part of it. The low light images is one area where Realme has done a very good job. We have seen with the Realme smartphones in the past as well, the low light performance has been pretty good, and that's something which carries forward here as well. The images in the low light mode come out really well. They have a good amount of details, and even the colors look very good. The same also extends to the selfies. Most selfies, especially taken in the daylight, come out well. Even in those captured in low light or during the night also look decent. So overall, the camera performance on the Realme GT is good for a mid-premium smartphone. Yes, if that is your priority, if camera is your priority, you can also check out better options in the market like OnePlus 9 Pro and Mi 11 Ultra, but they will cost you almost double the amount of the Realme GT. Now let's move on to the performance. Now, the biggest highlight or the selling point of the Realme GT is that it is the most affordable smartphone in India right now with Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 processor, and that's the best processor that is available in the market right now. You get this phone in two different variants, 8GB and 12GB of RAM, and the performance is more than satisfactory. It's quite impressive. You get a very solid performance on the Realme GT. One thing that I really liked and would like to point out is that you can run most games on this smartphone at the highest graphics with the highest frame rate as well. So both BGMI and Call of Duty can run at maximum graphics without dropping the frame rate. I must point out that Poco F3 GT, which was meant for gaming, and we have done a gaming test of that phone on the channel as well, restricts you from running BGMI at maximum graphics with the extreme frame rate, and that's not the case with Realme GT. So anybody who is into gaming would appreciate that. And the gaming performance overall was also quite satisfactory. I played Call of Duty on this phone, and both the graphics as well as frame rates were more than satisfactory. I didn't face any issues in terms of frame rate drops, and that's something that gamers would appreciate. Now, the issue is that because it uses Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 processor, and we have seen in the past as well, the phones that have come with this particular chipset, they tend to heat up a bit, and that's also the case with the Realme GT. It doesn't get too hot, but yes, you can feel the phone getting warm after 40 to 45 minutes of gaming, and probably that's one issue again Realme can fix using a software update later on. But right now, yes, the phone tends to get a bit warm. The other problem in terms of performance is that the Realme GT comes with Realme UI 2.0, which is based on Android 11, and while the software experience is pretty clean, and it is one of the most improved Android custom skins as well right now, and you get a lot of apps pre-installed on the phone. For example, Moj, Josh, there are hot apps as well, and then few Realme apps like Realme Community and Realme Link, as well as Realme Store app. Now, while all these apps do make some sort of sense on a 10,000 or 15,000 rupees smartphone, when you're buying a premium phone that costs almost around rupees 40,000, you expect a clean software experience. And again, Realme should learn that from this experience, that it should not ship these premium smartphones with these many pre-installed apps. Now as far as the battery goes, you get 4500 mAh battery on the Realme GT. This is of course not the biggest battery that you get on a smartphone, but then again most premium smartphones like OnePlus 9 and OnePlus 9 Pro also ship with a similar size battery, and this is good enough for almost a day. If you charge the phone in the morning, I think it can easily last by late evening with a bit of gaming, streaming and your usual WhatsApp and replying to emails. So all of that will give you about 18 to 20 hours of battery life very easily. The phone ships with a 65 watt fast charger, and this is very quick. This is very fast because I noticed that the phone charged from 0 to 40 or 50% in about 20 to 25 minutes, and that's very good for fast charging standards. So I think your battery needs are also taken care of very well. The Realme GT is essentially Realme's attempt at giving you a premium smartphone experience at almost half the cost as the OnePlus 9 Pro and the Mi 11 Ultra, and it somewhat excels in that as well. What you are getting here is a very good looking smartphone with a very good in-hand feel. It has a decent display, good performance and also a pretty decent battery life. Yes, there are a few things missing. For example, there is no HDR playback support. The cameras could have been more consistent and so on. But even then, I think for 38,000 rupees, if you want to buy a good phone and do not want to spend on a flagship device, this makes for a decent buy. Three things that we liked about the Realme GT. The first has to be the looks. I think this is one of the best looking smartphones at this price point. It looks absolutely stunning. Second is the performance. You get a very solid performance, and Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 processor at this price is a total steal. The third has to be the display, which is very good for general usage. Now, three things that I did not like on this phone, and let me start with where I left. And the display, while it's good for general use, it does not come with HDR support. So while streaming content, you may feel some difference and at some point would want for a better viewing experience. The second thing is that the cameras could have been consistent. As I pointed out, there are images where parts of the images do not look that good. So that is something that Realme could have done better. And third thing which I did not like on the Realme GT are the preloaded apps, and there are plenty of them that Realme needs to get rid of as early as possible. So our rating for the Realme GT is 8 out of 10. I hope you liked our video, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel and do come back for more such cool videos. Thank you for watching.